Hi everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to this session. Greetings from Mercy Technologies. The idea of this session is to give brief idea about Hibernate. If you don't know anything about Hibernate framework, also fine. It will be from very scratch, but at least basic level of core Java knowledge is required to understand this class. So here we will be driving one by one. So about the session, this will be complete hands-on session. Okay. And what about me? So I would like to introduce about myself. Myself Kumar, and I am currently working in a product-based IT organization. So and I have worked on different organizations, around 4 to 5 organizations in my previous career, and currently I am taking care of 3 projects independently. I am leading 12 members of team, and we often conduct free classes to the students, and also like we formed as a separate team, around 7 to 8 software engineers. We all joined together. We formed institute called Mercy Technologies. Mercy Technologies, it is an institute where we will be sharing our courses, our real time things, everything. So our purpose is to teach the candidate from practical to theory, and at the end of the course the candidate should be very expert in the coding. That is what our purpose. And we all are software engineers. So what we do, we are even like we often go to companies. Sometimes monthly once we go to companies. Based on the need, we will give trainings to the employees also. So we are corporate trainers also. So that's all about us. Let's get started. So what's our plan today? Today we have a big plan. So as part of today's session, we will see how to what are the softwares are required to develop Hibernate framework, Hibernate technologies, how to use it, what are the prerequisite softwares we need it. We will see how to download and install, and also we will see a high level overview about JDBC, Java Database Connectivity, and what are the drawbacks. And we will see why companies are going for ORM framework. ORM framework, why companies are going for it. And we will see in depth about explanation and hands-on about Hibernate framework. And we will see hands-on with programming, and we will see how to insert employees into the table, how to retrieve a record from the database, how to delete a record, how to update the existing record. This is what our overall plan. So let's drive in depth. So first we will see how to install required softwares. For using Hibernate, we need all the softwares: Java, Eclipse, MySQL database we are going to use. You can use any database, and Hibernate we will use, and Maven also we will use. So Java and Eclipse, I trust everyone will be having. So let's see about MySQL database, how to download and install, and also how to download and install Hibernate and Maven. So for considering the time, so what we are doing is, what I'm planning is, I will not show you how to download and install and all, but instead I have already downloaded and installed in my machine. So what you can do, it will be from scratch. I will be sharing this material. End of the session, you can message me. I will be sharing this material and video recordings. So you can go to Google. You can search MySQL database download for Windows 7, right? MySQL database download for Windows 7. If you search, there will be first link, right? dev.mysql.com. There is a first link. You click that. So if you click the first link, so you will be getting, you will be getting something like this. First one, you will be getting one link, something like this. Okay. Here you will be seeing two options: 32-bit MSI installer x86 32-bit MSI installer. Second one will be community edition. Okay, so we can go with the second option. Once if you click, you know, we need to download this. When you are clicking it, what we will use? We will use, it will go to redirect to login page or sign up page. If you don't have already account, you can go with sign up. You can register it. After signing up, it will redirect to download page. If you have already account, just click login. When you are clicking login, so you can enter your credentials. When you are entering the credentials, so it will take you to the download page. This is the download page, dev.mysql.com. Here you will be finding download link here. You just click this download link. It will be downloaded on your machine. It will be downloaded on your machine. This is how we can download the MySQL software. Everyone understood how to download MySQL software? Could you please reply? So you can follow the same steps. Okay, thank you. Thanks for your reply. Let's go ahead. Let's see how to install it. You can use any software, MySQL software you can use, or Oracle or Postgres or H2 database. This is free of cost. This is free. Okay, you can use anything. H2 database also you can use. For this seminar, we will use MySQL database. Okay. Now we can see how to install the downloaded file. We have downloaded, right? This is the file we have downloaded, right? So we will see how to go with installation. How to go with installation. So let's go ahead with the installation. You can double click on the downloaded file. Here what we downloaded, right? Double click on the downloaded file. Okay, double click on the downloaded file. And what you can do, when you are double clicking it, it will open one window. So here you will be seeing different options, right? Here you will be seeing different options. So what I can tell you is, go with the first option. We are going to use as a developer perspective. Select the developer default, press next. Here it will be asking standalone MySQL server or InnoDB cluster. Select the highlighted one, first one, standalone MySQL. Okay, press next. Then middle and all many windows will come. You can simply press next, and it will be asking you your username and password. Username by default it is root. Okay, username by default it is root. So but password we can give any password. Here I am giving test123. Don't forget the password. Again retrieving will be quite tough. You just give the password and press next. Then once it is done, in next screen you will be seeing something like this. In next screen you will be seeing something like this. Click execute. When you are clicking execute, it will be started downloading all the softwares. All the softwares, whatever is there here, all the softwares will be started downloading it. Once it is done, so what we can do in next window, you can test your connection. So just press enter username as root. Username should be root and the password as test123, whatever password you have given. Just click check button here. Click check button. If your connection is success, you should see this one, connection succeeded. For sure you need to see this green color message. If green color message comes, connection succeeded means you have successfully installed MySQL software and your MySQL software is working fine. Correct? MySQL software is working fine. Now you can just press finish. When you are finishing, automatically it will start the MySQL workbench. Okay, connection will be established. Connection will be established. So once we click finish, then our database started working. Then actually it will be alive. So what we can do is, then we can see how to use the database. This is what we have installed. There is a software called MySQL Workbench. Okay, MySQL Workbench. There is a software called MySQL Workbench. Just open from the start menu. When you are opening it, okay, when you are opening it, so here you will be seeing like, you know, local instance and connection one. You can double click it. If you observe here, we are getting an error. What is the error? It is unable to establish the connection. It is unable to establish the connection. Here we are seeing error as no connection established. It means our connection with the database is not yet done, right? Not yet done. So what we will do, let's try to establish the connection. Go to the start menu. Here if you observe, there is a red icon here, right? Right click on the red icon. Here it is stopped. MySQL 80 is stopped. So just start it. So once your MySQL, you know, it is started successfully, you will be seeing something status like this. MySQL 80 is working. Yes, we should enable the connection first. We need to start the service. MySQL is a server, right? It's a database, it's a server. We need to start the server first. It is there in our local. Now it is working fine, right? Now, if you open it, MySQL Workbench, right? You should not see that error message, red color error message. Now you see, you did not see any error message, right? You did not see any error message. Now what we will do, we could have successfully downloaded and installed. So before going to the queries, let's go to our class. Yes, this is a MySQL Workbench. This is kind of UI, you know, by here we can run our queries and all. Okay. Even you can use any software, Oracle, MySQL, anything we can use it. Let's go to our presentation. So what we will do is, let's see JDBC and its drawback. So before going to that, let's go here. Let's see what are the basic queries we need. Let's show databases. How many databases are there? Let's see it. What are the databases are already there? You can run it. When you are running it, right, select it, press run execute button. When you are running, these are the databases are there. So let's delete database mercy underscore db. One database is already there, that is mercy underscore db, right? So we have dropped it. We can use a drop command to delete it. Now what we will do, again we will query the database. Mercy underscore database is not there. What we are planning to do is, let's create a new database. Create database. What is the database name? You can give any database name. Here we are giving mercy underscore db, right? Let's enter it. See, we got one green color, right? Create database. This is one row affected. It means successfully we would have created mercy underscore db. Now there are multiple database. Which database we are going to use? We are going to use mercy underscore db database, right? Yes. Now let's see what are the tables are there inside mercy underscore database. See, nothing is there, right? Nothing is there, it's empty. Now let's create one table actually. Let's try to create one of the table. We might be aware of it, how to create the table, right? Basic queries, right? Let's create some table. So I don't want to use, you know, the MySQL Workbench, because if we use it, we will not, you know, we will, you know, we will not understand in a better way. So what we will do, we will go with command prompt, MySQL command line. This also we can use it. Password, whatever password we have kept when we are installing, same password you can use it. You are getting same password, we can use it. MySQL make sure you are giving the correct password. Yeah, so the password which I given is test123. Yes, we went inside MySQL. Even what we will do here, we can say use MercyDB, right? This is the DB we have created. Yes, now what we will do, we will see show tables. No tables are there. Let's try to create some new table. How to create it? It's simple. Let's create an employee table. Okay, employee table. So create table, table name, employee name. So what are the things it is going to have? It is going to have ID. Consider this is integer, right? Integer. And we'll go with name. Let's go with varchar type. These are the basic queries, right? Varchar type. Then let's go with one more column, salary. Salary, let it be big int. Okay, salary, let it be big int. These are the basic query. Let's enter it. We successfully created one table. We successfully created one table. So now let's just describe it. Disk table, employee, right? Employee is the table. See, we have three columns, ID, name, and salary, right? Can everyone see the result? Could you please reply? Okay, thanks for your reply, guys. Thanks for your reply. So now we have created. Now let's try to insert something. So I am trying to insert something. Insert into employee. This is the insert query, right? Values. So here what we will give? We will give ID. ID as 100. Name we can give in single quote, Mercy. And salary, consider you want to give some salary to Mercy, 30,000. Just enter it. One row is affected. Again, add one more row. 20,000. Consider this name is Angel. 200. One more record we have inserted. Consider you are inserting one more record. 50,000. Name as John. Right? ID, consider ID can be unique always, right? Now we have inserted 3 records successfully. Let's try to retrieve it. We can retrieve using select command, right? Select star from employee. Can you able to understand here? Actually, we have inserted 3 records. Successfully, we have inserted 3 records, right? ID, name, and salary. There are 3 records got inserted. Okay. Fine then. Now we have seen how to download and install, how to execute basic queries, basic SQL queries in our database. Now let's see what is the JDBC and what are the drawbacks. So JDBC is nothing but Java database connectivity, right? JDBC, it is mainly enable us to connect from the Java application to the database. It is helping us to establish the connection and to insert or to communicate with the database for insert or update or delete or drop, whatever. Okay. Now JDBC enables us, developers to, go with the custom queries. In our application, we can integrate the database, right? The advantages are simple. Used to connect the database. Even we can, run our queries. Even we can retrieve the results from the database. What is the disadvantage? Disadvantage is there is no object and relational mapping. So there is no object and relational mapping. This actually we will see, what is the object and relational mapping. This we will see later, but there is no object and relational mapping. Okay. let's see about ORM. What is ORM? ORM is came into industry. It is an idea or a technique. ORM stands for object relational mapping, right? So this is a technique. I will tell you what is this ORM. Okay, let's go with ORM means consider like uh, we are having from our database side we are having everything as a relation, right? Relational database, right? This is called a relational database. MySQL all are comes under relational database because we are having column and row wise. So everything we are having column wise. Suppose if I want to insert something, here it is there as a record column wise 100 mercy and salary, some salary, right? And we are having some salary, right? We are having column wise. But Java side, what we are having object wise. So that is the mismatch. I will tell you, explain you, after some time. Again, we'll come back. So directly we'll step into coding. So what we will do, we will be using Eclipse. Eclipse, I mean, I did not do installation. Already it's there. I thought it is very basic, fundamental, actually fundamental software. If you don't have Eclipse, it's simple. You can go to Google and you can search Eclipse software. You can download and you can install it. It's very easy. Okay. Here you give the workspace name, create the new workspace. Directly we will go into practical. Middle, again we will come back to our program. Eclipse, it is an IDE, integrated development environment. Either you can use Eclipse or IntelliJ or NetBeans, anything you can use it. Now this is the Eclipse. Here we can create a new project. You can go with file, new. You can go with others. Let's create as a Maven project. That is easy to develop, Hibernate or any frameworks. Let's create as a Maven project. Click and press next. This is from scratch, so we no need to worry about anything. If you don't have any idea about Hibernate also, I will take care of it. So what we will do here, let's put some dependencies. Okay, so there are many dependencies. You can search with log4j. You can just go with any one of the dependency. Press next. Here you need to give the artifact ID. Here some of the details we are having: group ID, artifact ID, package and all. This is basic things. You no need to worry about too much. So you can just give artifact ID as com.mercy, group ID as com.mercy, artifact ID as my Hibernate, some project name. Artifact ID is nothing but project name. Here what you can give, package name we can give like com.angel. Okay, package name you can give it as com.angel. Once it is done, you can press finish. Now your development environment is ready, right? Your development environment is ready, so that for us it will be easy to develop. This is our project. You can view it in another perspective also. Show view. Here you can select navigator, right? Navigator view, we can do it. So here this is the structure. SRC directory is used for all the source code. Target is for compiling and keeping the .class file. These are the things. Few important things we need to consider. One is like pom.xml. Open pom.xml. This is the pom.xml. So here what we can do, we can remove unnecessary things. We can remove unnecessary things. Okay. So we no need to worry about this, right? So, and organization also we don't need. We can remove it. Dependencies, under dependencies, we no need any of the dependency. Blindly we can remove all the dependency except logger. We can keep only logging things, right? We can keep only starter logging. Apart from that, we can remove all the dependencies. I'm deleting everything. Now it's quite clear. Even we can remove the builder also. This is not needed. Okay, now it's very easy, right? These are the basic things. Pom.xml. Now, few people asked me this pom.xml. This is Maven project. You know, this is Maven is a build tool. All these tools are used in real time. All these tools are used in the real time projects. Okay. Even we are using. I am working on 3 projects. I said right. In all the 3 projects, we are using Maven. So Maven internally has pom.xml. This is a build tool. So no need to worry about too much. We will see some other day. So this is the one important point. Now we need to see how to install, download and install, Hibernate, right? Hibernate. It's simple. Again, you can go to Google. Okay, you can go to Google. If you go to Google, you can just search Hibernate dependency. So you will be getting something. Okay, you will be getting something like this. Hibernate latest version Maven. Hibernate latest version Maven. You can go to the first one. First link you can go for it. There can be many Maven dependencies are there. Okay, you can select any one of them. Okay, you can select any one of them. So let's go with 5.4.10. This is the version I am planning to go. You can copy this, right click copy and paste it in our under dependency. We are having dependencies, right? Under this, what we can do, we can paste this dependency, right? This is the dependency, we got it from internet. Now Hibernate, when we are saving it automatically, it will check the Maven repository. Maven is a central repository. This will actually download this Hibernate core jar from the Maven repository, and it will keep under m2.m2 folder. Now we no need to worry too much. Maven is a build tool. You can go through it whenever you get time. Okay, this is industry, so industry standard softwares. Second thing, we need to interact with the database, right? We need to interact with the database. Database is different, whereas Java application is different, right? Both are different applications. So we need to have some connectors. For connectors only, we are having one option called Java connector. We need to find in the Google what is the connector for MySQL database. What is the software for MySQL database? For MySQL software, this is the connector actually. This also you can get Java MySQL connector. If you search, you will be getting it in the Google. Okay, I have kept this also. This also important. Why we need this MySQL connector? This is used to connect Java application to the database. Everyone is clear so far? Could you please reply? We just seen how to download and how to go with Hibernate and Maven. Now it's done. Now what we are going to do, we need to establish the connection, right? Thank you. Thanks for your reply. I am happy. So we need to establish the connection, right? So here we have just seen how to download and this thing. Now second thing is, if it is Oracle or some other database, you can search according to your database. Okay. Now we need to mention the connection URL, right? What are the database name? What is the username? What is the password? For that purpose, what we need to do, go to resources, go to project. Under project, you will be having one directory called SRC. Go inside SRC, go inside main directory. Then we'll be finding resources, right? Here you can create one XML file. Here you can create one XML file. Go to others, XML file. Here you'll be finding an XML file. Give the name as hibernate.cfg.xml. Name should be same. Hibernate.cfg.xml file. This is the file. Press next. This is the file. Actually, you will be configuring all the database related properties. All the database related properties. For example, let me show you what are the properties. Already I have it. These are the properties. Let's just copy it. See here we have mentioned what is the database we are going to use. What is the connection URL? This is the connection URL for MySQL. If you are using Postgres or Oracle or any other database, you need to go accordingly. You're getting right. Then what you can do, you can go with a username and password. Username and password. File should be same name as this is the configuration file, Hibernate configuration file. Let's go ahead. So this is the configuration file. Here we'll be giving our username. What is the username? Root. What is the password? Test123, right? Test123. And here it is create. That's okay. You just you can give with the whether all your queries should be displayed or not. Yes, you can give true, and you should give all the dialect and all these informations are mandatory. All these informations are mandatory, right? MySQL 5 dialect we are giving. So make sure everything is perfect. Once everything is perfect, that's all, we are ready. We can dive inside. Okay. Now let's create one employee class. I want to create one employee class. Before creating employee class, let me remove this table. Drop table, table name, right? How to delete the table name? Drop table, table name, employee. Table is deleted. Now if you query, you will get compile time error, error saying that table does not exist. We have dropped the table. Now let's, what we will do inside com.angel package, what we will do, we will create one class, employee class. Let's go with employee. This is our employee class. This is our entity class. Listen little carefully. Yeah, let's increase the font size. Windows preferences. Here you can type font, colors and font, Java editor text. You can double click it. Let's go with, okay, this is our font. So font size is increased. Let's go with, actually I want to make sure this is mapped with a table, right? Whatever this class is mapped with a table. How I can make it? This is a Java class. I should use 3 properties. Consider I am going with same properties: private, employee ID, then employee name, then employee salary, right? Salary is long type, right? Now all these are columns. This is the table I want to map. How to map? It's very simple. We can use @entity. This is the annotation. This is the annotation. You can get it from Java x.persistence. Don't go with this Java x.persistence. Go with this annotation. Java x.persistence.entity. Okay. Now ID should be always primary key, right? We need to make sure in each table one primary key is there. Okay. Suppose in this table ID is the primary key. ID should be unique, right? So that's why we are giving as ID @ID. Then you'll be asking question, table we have mapped as @entity. Why can't we how we can make this as column? There are column annotations are there that you can give if you want. @column you can give. It is not mandatory, it is optional. By default, whatever you are designing inside all the fields, by default all are columns. But I don't want to make my code bigger, so I'm removing everything. We no need to mention, it is not mandatory. Okay. Now that's all. This is done. This is our entity class. Now let's create one constructor. Constructor using fields. Go to source. Constructor using fields. Then what we will do? Let's create it. This is our basic constructor, right? This is our constructor. We are initializing it. Now what we are doing? Let's go with our main. Let's create one our client class. Okay. Let's go with new class. Let's name it as client. This is the new class, right? Here consider we are going with main method. Okay, we are going with main method. Now here what we can do? Here we can create object to employee class, right? This is simple Java program. Employee obj1 equal to new employee of. You can give all the details. Employee ID as 100, name as Mercy, salary some salary. Okay, it should be long type, right? Salary consider we are giving 40,000, right? This is the salary. This is the normal Java object. When we are creating object, what happens? We are creating using new keyword. Whenever we are creating new object, this object is created in the heap memory. Who is pointing? All the objects are living at heap memory. So objects are scattered across heap memory. Randomly objects are stored. But there can be thousands of objects. How we can reach the object? We can reach through reference variable. Each object should be pointed by reference variable. Okay. Now let's see how to make connection with database. There are some steps Hibernate developers they are given. We need to use that. Listen little carefully. First, let's go with session factory. We need to get the session factory. Session factory is the right. We need to get it. How to get it? It's simple. We can go with configuration first. New configuration dot, you can go with configure method dot build session factory. This is very simple. What we are trying to do, first we are trying to get the session factory object. How to get the session factory object? We can create the configuration object, then we can call one method, then on top of that we can call build session factory. So even we can do it in 3-4 lines. Instead of doing it to 3-4 lines, I have done it in single line. This is how you can get the session factory. Once you get the session factory, what you can do is you can create the session object. Session factory is heavyweight. Session factory is heavyweight. For one application, there should be only one session factory. Note down these points. I trust everyone is noting down all our important points, right? Session factory, all are interview questions. They will ask what is the difference between session factory and session and all, right? So you can say session factory is heavyweight, right? It is heavyweight. It means it uses more resources, right? It is heavyweight. For one application, there should be only one session factory. For one application, consider we are creating one application, one of the application. Then for one application, there should be only one session factory. Okay, and the session factory is available throughout the execution. It is available throughout the execution. Fine. Now we are going to use session. How to get the session? Simple. Session, again it is an interface, right? Session, right? You can go with session. This is again reference. Session equal to, how to get the session? Simple. From session factory, what we can do? We can call one method called factory.open session. Whenever you are interacting with the database, immediately you open one session and you perform the transaction. Say commit your transaction, then close the session. Session is costlier, okay? Session is lightweight. Session is lightweight. Session is lightweight. So session is lightweight. Session is lightweight. It means whenever we need, we can open on session, we can complete it, and we should immediately close it. Okay. Session, it should be closed immediately after its usage. We should not use it immediately after its usage. Why? Because it is not thread safe. Session is not thread safe. Session is not thread safe. If any other thread it comes. If it is uses, then our data will be corrupted, right? Session is not thread safe. But what about session factory? Session factory is thread safe. That's why we are going with only one session factory. Session factory is thread safe, right? Now we have created the session. Now whatever we are interacting with the database, consider you are inserting one record from record to database. That is called one transaction, right? Inserting or updating or deleting or querying the database, that is called one transaction. So we need to go with transaction object. There is a transaction object is there. We can go with transaction tx. I'm just giving name as tx. How to get the transaction? It is simple. Session dot begin transaction. These are the steps are needed for basic, for basic thing. Okay, these are the important things. So import from Hibernate transaction. There are two transactions. Don't go with javax transaction. Import from Hibernate transaction. These three steps are important. First, we need to create the session factory. Why we are creating the session factory? To get the session. So each time we need session. If you want to get the session object, we need to use session factory object, right? So by using session factory, we can create the session object, right? Okay, creating the session. Correct. Here what we are doing, creating the session factory. So once we get the session, what we are doing, we are starting the transactions, right? Starting the transaction, right? Now that's all, we are ready. We already created the object, right? What we will do? Simple. Simple means simple. What we will do? Just call session dot save. Pass the object reference obj1, right? That's all. You started the transaction, commit the transaction. Tx dot commit. That's all, you are done. We have done. We have done our coding. 3 steps are important. Once you get the transaction, you save that object. Then you commit it. Now just observe the database again. In database, we don't have any table called employee. I have deleted it, right? Now I am going to run this program. Listen little carefully. I am going to run it. I'm going to run it. Let's go with run as Java application. Just run it. You can observe the logs. We are getting some exceptions. Just try to understand what is the exception we are getting. We are unable to load class, right? So why we are getting error means, actually here we are given error is very clear. Actually it says it is unable to load class com.mercy. So com.mercy, we have created our employee class as com.mercy. We need to register this class. So com.angel, right? But in hibernate.cfg.xml file, I have mentioned as com.mercy.employee. But employee class is available inside angel package, com.angel package. So the package name is wrong here. Copy this and register the class name here. We need to register. Each time we need to register this. Now it is fine. Employee class is available inside com.angel, right? The package name is wrong. Yes. Now let's try to run again. It is started. See, we got the output. What happened? It just checked, is there any employee table is there? If it is there, drop it. Again, see the logs. It is creating one new employee table, right? We are not doing it. We are not using any JDBC commands here. We are not using any JDBC commands here. what we are doing? We are just using Hibernate. Hibernate takes care of it, right? Then it is also inserting the value. Just go to the database, just check it. Just query it, select star from employee. Have you got it? Same thing only we are trying to insert, right? 100 Mercy 40,000. Can you able to see the output? Everyone? At least high level you are getting, right? What is happening? Thanks for your reply. Let's go ahead. Let's try to insert some more values. Okay. Let's try to insert some more values. What we will do, we will create one more, one more object. Let's create one more object. 3 objects we are trying to create. ID should be unique always. Let's go with Angel. Salary, let it be different. John. Salary, let it be different. Let's run it, and reference name should be unique, right? Let's save all the things. Okay, let's save object to object tree. Is that fine, right? Now what we are doing, again it is simple. We have created 3 objects. We are getting, this is one-time job. Okay, creating the session factory and all one-time job. First we have created the session factory, then we are going creating the session, and we are starting the transaction. We are saving the object and we are committing it. Let's run again. See the output. Again it is dropped it. Again employee table, whatever table it was there, Hibernate dropped the table. Again it has created new table. Here you are seeing, right? Create query. Create table, table name, ID integer not null, then salary, then it put the primary key also, right? It has inserted 3 records. What are the 3 records? 100, 200, 300, Mercy, Angel, John. Just let's check in the database. Again query the database. Can you able to see the records? ID, name and salary. Everyone is clear? Just see the records. It is simple, very simple. But if you are using JDBC, you know, people who use the JDBC, you might be knowing the things. In JDBC, if you want to use, I'll just tell high level what we need to use in JDBC. First, we need to get the data individually. Call getters, obj1 dot get employee ID, get employee name, get employee salary, getting everything, right? First, we need to get ID, right? Retrieve everything from the object, then name, then salary, right? After it, what we need to do, we need to form the query, form insert query, correct? We need to go with insert into employee values. We need to hard code everything, right? If you are inserting one more record, again you need to go with all the ways. Suppose your database contains lakhs of thing means, then it will be this thing. So then you need to finally send the query to database. This many steps are needed, right? But if you use Hibernate, nothing is needed. So there is a mismatch between database side and our application side. What is the mismatch? Database side, we are having everything as column and rows, right? You know, if you want to read also, again, you know, database side, we will just use select keyword. After reading, we need to store it in object. Again, we need to set it. So there is a mismatch. Here we are having at relation side, we are having rows and column, but object side we are having as object. There is a mismatch, right? What is the mismatch? If you go with JDBC, what is the mismatch? What is the problem we are having? Object and relation mismatch, right? Object and relation mismatch. if we go with JDBC. What is mean by relation? Relation is nothing but relational database, right? Relational database. And object is nothing but our Java application. So there is no match actually. We need to, every time what we need to do, we need to convert the data according to either from database means again you need to get the results, convert into object, again store it. If you are inserting means again from object you need to extract it, update or insertion you need to extract it, form the query, hard code the value, again send it. These many things are there, correct? But to avoid this issue only, there are in industry there are tools came called ORM. What is mean by ORM? It's very simple. Object relational mapping. I said you above, right? There is a mismatch between object and relation. Now you will understand what is meant by ORM. You will understand now. Object relational mapping. What it means? ORM tools helps us to easily solve the above issue, right? It will take care of mapping the between object and the relation side. Everyone understood? ORM frameworks. This is a technique, right? ORM is a framework, or you can say it is a technique. You know, this provides this object relational mapping issue, right? Now, Hibernate is one of the ORM tool. You can say Hibernate is one of the ORM tool. Hibernate follows all the guidelines of ORM and it does it. JPA also you can say it is one of the technique, right? Spring Data JPA, again it is from Spring, but that is also ORM framework, right? All are following ORM techniques, right? In industry there are different ORM softwares, ORM tools are there. We can use any of them. Hibernate is one of them, right? Now let's go with our presentation. JDBC drawbacks. Here we will be seeing like there is no object and relational mapping. Disadvantage is there is no object and relational mapping. Okay. So what ORM? ORM stands for object relational mapping. It is a programming technique. Why we need it? Simple. It is used to convert the data between relational database and object-oriented programming languages. From the database, with our application, it is used to convert the data, right? ORM will take care of it. We no need to worry, right? So finally, if we go with Hibernate, Hibernate is one of the ORM tool, right? It solves the mismatch between object oriented classes and with relational database Now let's go ahead. What is meant by JPA? Java Persistence API. This is called Java Persistence API. What it means? Persistence means you are inserting something, you are interacting with the database, right? Java Persistence API, right? This is the full form of JPA, right? So let's go ahead, let's experiment some more thing. Let's try to, now if you observe, if I run one more time, consider I'm making some more changes. Mercy 1, Angel 1. Okay, I'm just adding some more changes. Listen little carefully. Consider I'm making it as 500, 600, 700. Let's run it again. What is the current data it has? 100, 200, 300. Let's run again. Let's run our application again. Here we are seeing again it is dropped the table. It is dropped the table, it is recreated the table and it is started inserting. Let's query again. Let's query again. See, we got different values. Previous values got deleted because Hibernate dropped it. Every time it is dropping. How we can prevent it? It's very simple. It's very simple. We can prevent it. Actually, in hibernate.cfg.xml file, there is a property called hibernate HBM to DDL auto, right? Can you able to see this property? HBM to DDL auto. Here it is create. Keep it as update. Okay, keep it as update. If it is create means every time it will delete and it will drop and it will recreate it. Keep it as update. Let's go with a different things. Let's go with 100, 200, 300. Let's give different names. Matthew. Let's go with name called Daniel. Right? Let's go with one more name as Esther. Right? Let's give different salary also. Doesn't matter. Okay. I'm giving some salary blindly. Okay. Now, if I run, what will happen? Existing record should not be deleted. What is the existing record? Simple. Existing, we are having Mercy 1, Angel 1. This is the IDs, right? Let's run now. Again, let's check whether it is working fine or not. Let's run our application. Let's run our application. See here, if you observe the log, there is no drop. Before we used to observe drop is happening, then creating the table. Here nothing is happened. Directly it is inserting, right? Directly it is inserting. Shall we see the database? Just check. See, have we understood clearly? If you go with update option HBM to DDL, it is not dropping. It is always inserting new record. Everyone is clear? Could you please reply? I expect a reply from everyone. If you have doubts, then ask me now. No need to ask anything else. Ask only regarding this doubt. If you make it as HBM to DDL auto, then it will not. This one. Everything is clear, right? 100%. See, this is our configuration file. Before we kept HBM to DDL as create. Before it was create. When it was create, it means every time what it will do, it will check is there any table. If any table is there, it will drop the table. Again, it will recreate the table. Every time we will lose the previous table data, right? So for that purpose, if you don't want to drop every time, you want to only update it, then we can go with one more option called update. Whenever we are making it as HBM to DDL as update, it will be updating it will not drop the table. If table is already there, it will update the records. Clear now, everyone? I will tell you. Just hold on. Any doubts, guys? Clear? Completely 100%? Could everyone please reply? I expect reply from everyone. Thank you. Thanks for your reply. Okay, let's get started. Actually, like here, actually we have seen how to insert the data, right? This is how we need to always go for industry related, industry level of coding it. Our code is very fine, right? All the attributes should be private, right? We should not make it as all the attributes should be private. This is the entity class. We can go with the getters and setters. That's okay. But it should not be default or protected or public, right? All the attributes are private by default. Okay. So we have seen it how to insert particular record, how to insert it. Now we will see how to go with the next one. What is our next operation? Yeah, before going to next one, here if you observe, ID we are hard coding, right? ID we are hard coding. All the time we are hard coding ID. Hard coding ID is not good way of programming, right? Because employee ID, employee cannot choose it. Employee cannot choose the employee ID. company only will be giving the employee ID. It means we need to auto generate it. Okay, we need to auto generate it. What I will do, let me drop this table. Drop table employee. I have dropped the table. Now I don't want to I don't want to create the ID. User should not give the ID. Instead, what we will do, we will go with let Hibernate, let it create it. Let the Hibernate create the ID. So let's go with employee. This is the ID, right? Primary key. You can do one thing. You can go with generated value at generated value. When we are putting at generated value, right? Automatically Hibernate will create it. Hibernate will create the IDs. It will take care of it. Okay, Hibernate will take care of the things. Now, what we will do, we should not go with constructor with ID. Remove the constructor. Okay. Now in here actually we no need to go with the ID. Here also you remove it. Okay. Let's run the program again. Let's run the program again. That's all the change we need. Everyone understood? That's all change we have done it. Nothing else. Okay. Shall we go ahead? Okay. Thanks for your reply. So I said ID we should not hard code it because employee ID or student ID, no one should create it. It should be automatically generated, right? Automatically generated. So we just made it as at generated value. This is one of the annotation. Now we removed ID from the constructor initialization. User can enter name and salary. Now let's run the program again. Let's make it as create because it should create it. When it is running, it should create it. Let's run the application. Yes, it started running. Yeah, it created new database. It has inserted 3 things. ID is automatically created. Here you see who is creating, Hibernate is creating. Now let's go to the database again. Just query it. Can you able to see the ID? Who has created the ID? ID who has created, have you understood? ID is created by Hibernate. Employee ID is generated by Hibernate. Everyone is clear? It's very simple. We need to go here. We need to make it as at generated value. What you want to generate? ID. On top of ID, what we are going to do? We are going to make it as at generated value. Right? Any doubts? Again, I made it as update. Any doubts? Please feel free to ask me if you have any doubts about generating the ID. Okay, thanks for your replies. Now again, we are hard coding the data. Again, you want to explain. Okay, let me tell you. See, before I said clearly, right, we have hard coded the value, right? Before what we have done, we have given the ID. We only given it. What the ID we have given? 100. What is the name we have given? Mercy. Right? And what is the salary? Some salary. But giving ID is not good, right? User cannot give the ID because other user also can give the duplicate ID. It's not good, right? So Hibernate only should generate the ID automatically. If at all we want to Hibernate to generate the ID, so we should not use it. Instead, what we will do, we should not hard code. What is meant by hard code? Explicitly mentioning the 100. This is called hard code. 100 or 200. That is called hard code. At generated value means this is called annotations. In Hibernate in Java, we will use wherever we use at means it is annotations. Okay. Shall we go ahead? Now again here we are hard coding it. Here we are hard coding the name and the salary. Can we get it from the users? It's very simple. How can we get it from the users? You can use the scanner object, right? Can we get it from the user? Yes, we can get it. How to get it? Simple. Use the scanner object. Okay, let me remove everything. Let me move everything into top. Okay. Now what I will do, I will create one scanner object. Scanner. Dynamically, I want to get the data from the user. New scanner of system.in. This is the core Java topic, right? Now what we will do, we want to put something. We are asking enter employee name. Enter the employee name, right? Enter the employee name. Let user give the input. We will take that input, then we will store it in the database. So let me create the variables here. So what I will do, name is nothing but string, right? String name equal to, we are going to get sc.next. This is how we can get the input from the user. These are core Java topics, right? If you want to get the salary, again what we will do, we will go with enter the employee salary, right? So again, this is salary is long type, right? It's not string, it is long type. You can give any variable name, but make sure variable name is proper. sc.next long. That's all. What you do, you go with the constructor now. You create the object employee obj1 equal to new employee of, give the name and salary. Whatever user is entered, same we are giving. Any doubts so far? Just we are getting the input from the user. Shall we run it? Let's run it. Okay, already 3 records are there. Okay, already 3 records are there. Let's run it. Let's run it. It will be asking what is the username. We can give the username. What is the username? Consider we are giving username as, no names come into my mind. Consider we can give username as Shirley, right? Enter the salary of Shirley. Salary is, consider it is 70,000, right? See, insertion is successful. We are given, user has given Shirley and salary. Now let's go to database. Just select star from employee. Can you able to see the record? Everyone, could you please reply? Can you able to see it? Everyone understood? Just we are getting input from the user. Now let's go to the next topic. Just we have seen how to insert to the database, right? Just we have seen how to insert to the database. Now we will see how to perform CRUD operations. We have already noted down one point, right? What is meant by CRUD operation, right? CRUD means create. See, let's go with this notes itself. So we usually in IT industry we will say it as CRUD operation. What is meant by CRUD? CRUD is nothing but create, read, update, and delete. This is called CRUD operation. So we have seen how to create the table automatically. Read we will see. Insert we have seen. We will see how to read from the database. Okay, how to read from the database. What we have seen, first one we have seen how to insert the records to the table, right? Second one we are going to see how to read the records from the table, right? From the table. Now let's go with one thing. Let's remove everything. Okay, let's remove everything. Okay. Now we are having session object, right? We are having session object. What we will do, we will generate getters and setters. For reading it, we need to have no arg constructor. This is needed. Hibernate will internally use these constructors. No argument constructor, you can create it. Once you create the no argument constructor, again what we can do, We can go with getters and setters. How to generate? Get ID, get name, get salary, set ID, set name, set salary. Go with source, generate getters and setter. Whatever I am telling, all are real time. Okay, I have created getters and setters. Eclipse will take care of coding it. Okay, now what we will do at the Java side, here what we will do, we will just see how to retrieve from the database. I want to retrieve based on employee ID, right? Retrieving based on employee ID. There are many records, right? Which record I want to retrieve? There can be 1,000 records. Consider I want to retrieve the third record, right? So what we will do, it's very simple. You can go with session.load. We already have session object, right? Already we are having session object. Use that session object, call load method. You provide which table you want to retrieve. You want to retrieve from employee table. Where employee table is associated, employee table is associated with employee class, right? Employee table is associated with employee class. Employee table is associated with employee class, right? Now we want to retrieve it. Okay, we want to retrieve it. So this is the employee class is mapped with employee table, right? So what we are going to use is, we are going to use with client. So use the employee class. Employee dot class. You should give dot class because we are going to use employee class. ID we need to use it. ID which record you want to retrieve it. Consider TAD record. Let's retrieve TAD. Okay, and okay, we got it. We need to store in one employee object. It's very simple. Store it in one employee object. Employee E1. Now E1 is pointing that object, right? Now if want, we can print something. What we can print? We can print something. For understanding purpose, we can print successful message. Correct? Record is retrieved successfully. Record is retrieved successfully. We can print the record also. What we can do, we can print the record E1, right? You can give any name, obj1 or E1, anything is fine. If you are printing E1, then here override toString method. This is also important. ToString method internally, if you override, it will print all the object states, right? So generate the toString method. Now our program is ready. Session.load method will retrieve records from the database, right? It will retrieve record from database. Okay. Now TAD record, the ID which is having 3, right? That should be retrieved. Now let's run it. You will understand it. Can you able to see the output? What we got it? Can everyone please reply? Can you able to see the output? We have retrieved successfully TAD object, right? Everyone understood? Based whichever record is having ID as 3, that actually we have retrieved successfully, right? Consider you want to retrieve the second object. It's simple. Second is Daniel, right? Give the ID as 2. Give the ID as 2. Run again. Run again. We should get Daniel 11 1,10,000 salary, right? Let's run it again. See here. We got the output. Everyone understood? We got the output. Any questions? Could everyone reply? Everyone understood? If you have any question, I can help you to answer. I am happy to answer your questions. Okay, thanks for your reply. Now, what else we are having pending? We need to see how to delete record from the database, right? How to delete records, delete a record from the database, from the table or from the database. How to update operation also we need to see, right? How to update a record, right, to the database, right? Can we go ahead? Okay, thanks for your replies. So before going with this two operations, I have an announcement. You might be wondering, who we are, what we are doing, right? I already said you about what we are doing. Actually, we are a group of software engineers. So we all are working in IT industry, different companies, right? We are a group of software engineers, around 8 members, right? So what we do is we along with our regular work, we started this Mercy Technologies. We teach all the technology related courses here. All the technology related courses here we are teaching it. Say for example, Core Java, Advanced Java, Spring, Hibernate, whatever we are teaching in 2 to 3 hours. This is only, eye opener, but still there are many topics are there. There are many technologies. We are having Spring Boot, Hibernate, Maven, developer tools like Git, right? Python, many things we are teaching, automation testing. And along with that, even we are teaching data structures also. Data structures course to clear product based companies like Google, IBM, to clear the interviews. Data structure, if Amadeus, many software companies are there, 3-4 rounds will be there, right? In data structure itself we conduct everything. So what is unique with us, so we always cover everything from practical. Today whatever we have seen, right, whatever we have studied in a Hibernate, I did not teach anything theory. So I always cover from practical to theory. We write code line by line because I have written it. You might not understand 100% because core Java also involved here. If you are already very good in core Java, then you could have understand in a little better way. But core Java side, what I do is currently one batch is going on. Actually, I am the trainer. Suppose consider if you don't know anything in core Java, ABCD also fine. I will not worry about anything. What I do, I will teach from ABCD. From ABCD onwards, I will teach it. See the first program, Hello World program, then literals, then variables. Everything I will teach from ABCD onwards. I will cover from very fundamentals. Okay. I will cover from ABCD. It means very fundamental. Even if you are from different stream, ECE or mechanical or HR, you don't know anything, that's okay. Currently, we have many students, many are from different platforms. But what is the specialty? I will teach everything using program. Overall, I will cover 1000 programs in core Java. 1000 programs in core Java. See, I have material in front of you. See, first 1 to 100 programs. 101 to 184 programs. See here, I have I am having programs. Each topic I will cover using programs. Let's go ahead some more points. See, exception handling. Exception handling itself, I covered around 150 programs. Class and objects, I have covered around 60 programs, right? And this is one of the famous, my favorite topic, file handling. How to read from file, text file you are having, how to read it. From Java side, whatever value you are having, how to write into file, how to create directory. All are industry, you are seeing, right? I have a 831, 832, big code. So all are interdependent. So in file handling only, I covered around 200, 250 programs. See, all are real time serialization. People who are working, whoever is there, they will understand what I am speaking clearly, right? Serialization, see, very big program. This and all we will use in our real time project. So all these things I will cover step by step. Collection API, everyone knows that collection API is very one of the important topic in core Java, right? Very basic topic is collection API. In collection API itself, I will cover 500 programs because it is important, right? It is very important. I don't want to teach ABCD program. In collections, right? In collection API, I will teach minimum 400 to 500 programs. So when consider a person comes, joins here, he or she doesn't know anything, but finally, when they are completing the course, I will be teaching everything. When they are completing course, they will get 3 to 4 years real-time experience. You are getting right? 3 to 4 years real-time experience. What it means? It means if a software engineer is working in a company past 4 years or 3 years, same knowledge my students also should get it. 3 to 4 years real time experience, my students should get it. Correct? So end of the course, you will be expert. This duration is around 3 to 3.5 months. And daily morning, I teach around 7:30 to 8:30. That is my timing currently. Daily I teach 7:30 to 8:30. After that, I need to log into my office work. Daily 1 to 1.5 hour. 7:30 to 7 to, yeah, currently I teach with 7 to 7 a.m. to 8:30. So if you are interested, you can attend some 2-3 classes freely. After that, if you want, you can pay and you can enroll it. And end of the session, end of the core Java, you will be expert. Expert means expert. You can crack any interview. You will be very comfortable in coding. Okay, any problem, if you get it, you will write it. Even experience, if you are a fresher, even you can crack experience level also. This institute, I am teaching these things past 3 to 4 years. I have trained hundreds of students. Many people, they got job. So that's the unique about us. We cover everything using program because we are working people. So vector, you are seeing, right? In vector itself, how many programs in front of you, it's there. So suppose if anyone wants to, I will not, might be people whoever attends here, they might be very good in core Java. Or some people, they will say they know little bit, but not very in depth, right? But don't go to Hibernate or Spring without learning properly core Java. You will not understand 100%. In your lifetime, you will not understand. First, learn core Java very in depth. Core Java only is very tough, right? All are online class. Core Java only is very tough. First learn, core Java very in depth. This course duration is 3 to 3.5 months. Say for example, this is 3 months. Okay, this is the 3 months. Every day around 1 to 1.5 hour. If timing is not suitable, I have video recordings. I will record all the classes. I will record it and I will provide you the recordings. If anyone wants to join, then you can message me. Yeah, let's get started. And we need to see how to delete a record from the database. We have seen how to read the record. We will see next how to delete it. Again, it is simple. Deleting is simple. Already, first for deleting, we need to retrieve the information. Consider we are having second ID, right? Daniel, if I want to delete it, then first you retrieve the information. First you retrieve it, you got the object, right? Then what you can do, there is a method called delete session dot delete session dot delete. You pass the E1 object. That's all. Record is deleted successfully. What we are doing, first you need to retrieve which record you want to delete it, right? First you retrieve which record you want to delete it, then you can call session.delete method. Session.delete method. Once if you call delete method, what it does, you just go through the documentation, remove a persistence instance from the data store. It means it is deleting the particular record object which is from the database, right? Now let's go back. Now currently let's query our database. We will see what are the records it has. We are having Daniel, ID as 2. We need to always delete or retrieve based on primary key only, right? Here primary key is ID, correct? Here primary key is ID. Now let's run the program. Let's run the program. Observe the output. See what we are seeing. Hibernate framed delete query. Delete from employee where ID equal to whatever ID we have provided. It has even record got deleted successfully. The record which is having ID as 2 got deleted. Let's check with the database again. See, it got deleted. 2 is not there, right? 2 got deleted. Consider I want to delete the 4th record. What I will do? I can go again. I can mention the ID. Which ID you want to delete it? 4th record. So what I want to do? First I retrieve the record. Then what you will do? You will deleting the record. You will delete it. Correct, right? Shall I run it? See, we got this one also got deleted. This one also got deleted. Let's run again. See here, 4th record also got deleted. Everyone understood how to delete a record from the database? 4th record also got deleted. Originally it was 1, 2, 3, 4. We deleted 2nd record and 4th record. Any doubts? Could you please reply? Everything clear, 100%? How to delete a record from the database? Okay, cool. If you go through the recording again, you will get it. Now let's see our last topic, how to update it. Suppose consider we are having our last topic is we have seen how to delete, how to update a record. It's very simple. Again, it is simple. First, you need to retrieve it. Remove this. Either you want to delete or update, first you retrieve the record. Once you retrieve it, then you got the object, right? You are having all the setters, set name, set salary and all you are having, right? See, you have methods here. We generated. Don't use set ID, but set name is there. New name you can give using this API. Set salary also there. What I want to do is, what is the name we are having? What is the name here we are having? Suppose Matthew, right? Matthew is there. Matthew is there. Matthew is there. So what we are doing it? So I want to update this record. Instead of Matthew, I want to mention like one more name. Along with Matthew, I want to mention one more name. What I can do is go here. You got the record, right? First you need to retrieve it. After retrieving, what is the Matthew? Matthew ID is 1. So retrieve the particular record. If you run again, it will give compile time error, right? Retrieve the particular record. After retrieving it, what you can do, you can call, you can change the value. How you can change? E1 dot set name. What is the name you are going to give? In place of Matthew, I'm going to give Matthew Cherian, right? Matthew Cherian. This is the name I am updating, right? Matthew Cherian. That's all. Record is updated successfully. Nothing else. Nothing else. That's all. We are done. So what we are doing here, but in case of JDBC, if you use it, we need to select it. Correct. We need to fire select query, select star from employee where ID equal to 1. Get it. Again, we need to, what we need to do? We need to update it. But here it is simple. We are playing with objects. Object only which you change whatever you want. Correct. Object itself we can change whatever we want. Now let's run it. Currently it is only Matthew. When I am running, it should be updated to Matthew Cherian. Let's run it. See, Hibernate only, generated this query. Update employee, set name equal to salary equal to salary. We did not update it. But if you observe the record, let's go to the DB. Let's query it. Have you understood? See, the name got updated. Before it was Matthew. Now it got updated as Matthew Cherian. Everyone understood? Could you please reply? How to update it? It's very simple. First retrieve it, then call setters. I'm waiting for your reply. Could everyone please reply? Okay. Thanks for your replies. Now there is one interesting question one person asked. How to update both name and salary, right? How to update both name and salary? Sir, how I can update multiple records? There can be, 10 or 20 columns. How I can update multiple records, multiple columns at one shot? Suppose I want to update Esther name as well as salary. Yes, Esther currently she is earning around 3,30,000 per month. She is getting hike in another year. Consider she is getting 5 lakh. Okay, she is switching the organization, so she got very good hike. Let's see how we can make it. Again, what is the Esther ID? Esther ID is 3, right? We need to always go with the primary key, 3. Simple, just give the new name. Whatever you want. Esther. What is the name we can give? Rachel. It looks odd. Esther Rani. Indian name, right? Foreign name with Indian name. There are few people are there with name as Esther Rani. So give the name as well as use setters. What is wrong? E1 dot set salary. If you have one more column, again you use it. Nothing is wrong. You're getting it. If you have one more column, again use set department, set address, whatever you want, you can use it. Now let's run it and check. Currently it is only Esther. Salary is 3,30,000. Let's run it. See, we could be able to update it successfully, right? We could be able to update it successfully. Hibernate query, you can see it triggered Hibernate. We are getting record is updated successfully. Esther Rani salary is 5 lakh. Let's check in the DB. Let's again select star from DB. Can able to see? Previously it was only Esther. Now I made it as Esther Rani. Previously it was 3,30,000. Now it is 5 lakh. Everyone understood? whatever we have seen, all these are important concepts. These are the very fundamental topics, right? We have seen, how to perform CRUD operations, how to perform insert, how to read the records from the table, how to delete the record, and how to update a record, right? These are the things. I want to give quick recap what we have seen today. Okay, so let's go back to our presentation. So today's session, it is about free session on Hibernate hands-on. So we are, as we promised from our Messi Technologies, so we would like to we given this as hands-on session, right? So what we have seen here, seen high level overview, right? How to download and install the required software. I will be sharing you the material, and we will see what is the overview of JDBC, why we are going with ORM framework, detailed explanation of Hibernate, and hands-on programming with database. We have seen how to query database and all, how to insert multiple records in a better way, how to retrieve a record, how to delete a record, how to update the existing record. So we have seen in depth, right? We have seen what are the softwares are required. Hibernate and Maven, we no need to download and install. If you are keeping inside our pom.xml, it will be downloading the necessary, dependencies. Hibernate jar, Maven jar, it will be downloaded. It will be keeping under .m1 directory. Then JDBC, we have seen like it is very good. When Java started, that time they invented JDBC. That time we didn't have any other framework. Then when years after some time, after some years, then they understood that there are many issues in JDBC. Not only ORM issue, but also performance will be lower. Lazy loading is not possible. You are getting right. Many disadvantages are there. So to get rid of it, industry people, they came up with ORM ideas and technology, object relational mapping. This is a technique. It is used to convert the database things to programming language side. It is generic technique. Either we can use, with Java or C# or any object related, concepts. Then we have seen what is Hibernate. In Hibernate, we have seen like it is the main purpose is it is used to resolve that ORM issue, right? Object relational mapping issue it is resolving, and it has many advantages, many advantages. Interacting with the database is very easy. It provides caching mechanism. It provides multiple tables also, we can go for it. Very easy way we can maintain it, right? You can Google more information. Then finally we have seen like, hands-on. So these are the things we have seen it. So we are having our YouTube channel. This is our YouTube channel. If you go to our YouTube channel, you will be getting, many useful videos. I have taken Spring free videos. I have taken Hibernate now. I have taken, core Java topics. Many topics we are having it. You can search our institute name, Mercy Technologies. Here you will be getting our YouTube channel. This is our YouTube channel, right? Under Mercy Technologies, we are having many videos. If you observe current IT technologies, what are the IT technologies? What are the software tools we are using? 1 hour I have taken it, like Java, Spring, Hibernate, high level. Okay, each and every topic I explained theory wise. Git, Maven, what is Maven? Why we need Maven? Jenkins, all the topics are covered. Then if you observe, we are having many core Java related my videos are there here. How to read Excel sheet from. So everyone, I can request everyone to subscribe it, so that in future if you add any videos, you will be getting it. So I request everyone to try to install the necessary softwares, MySQL, Eclipse, and Hibernate, and Maven related softwares, and try to run it. If you are facing any issues, then let me know. I will help you. Okay. Yeah, few people they tried installation side by side. It's very good. Happy to know. Thank you guys.